on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone from doing videos for like 2 months now, but there has just been so much going on with both my businesses, and there's no excuse, but I am starting it back up, and I'm starting it back up with this video. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a change in the dynamic of how I do my videos. I know I was going to do vlogs at first, but I've decided that I kind of want to do girl talk. I love girl talk, and if you are a fan of the face brands, you know that I have a candle called Brunch and Girl Talk because I love to have brunch with my girls and I love to talk. So that's going to be the new dynamic of this channel. But I just kind of want to jump right in to kind of just get straight to the video. Before I start, I wanted to let you guys know that I did not get permission, but I spoke to my boyfriend about talking about this topic before I even started. And not that I got his permission, but this was both of our experiences. So I wanted to make sure, we were both comfortable sharing it before I did so. So yes, I had a miscarriage, and I'm gonna kind of just jump back to the time when I first found out that I was pregnant, and then kind of give you guys the full story. Okay, so I was having some issues, or I was having some weird feelings. I was like peeing a lot, and I just felt really weird, and I kind of wanted to just go to the doctor just to get some things checked out. And they ran some pregnancy tests, and it came back that I wasn't pregnant. And so, I was cool. Like, okay, cool, I'm not pregnant. We finished out the night, having fun. And, but for some reason, something in me was just like, no, something is off with me. Like, I've never felt this feeling before. And I had to figure out what it was. So that next morning, I think we had went to the doctor's previously that day, but the next morning I took a pregnancy test while my boyfriend was sleeping, because I'm just like, I just would rather do this. I would rather just take the pee test myself just to see. I didn't tell anyone I was taking it. I just was taking it just to see, because something just was off, and I just wanted to know for my own knowledge. And I took the test, and a little line started to appear, and I'm like, no, maybe this is a fluke. So I went and took a digital one, because it came with a digital one. So I took the digital one, and sure enough, in bold letters, it says pregnant. So I don't even know how I was feeling. I was definitely in shock, first off. Like, I wasn't crying or anything like that. I just was very shocked, because we weren't necessarily planning to have a baby. But I always wanted a baby. So it was not like, it was still exciting. So I showed him the pregnancy test, and that's how we found out that we were pregnant. And everybody was just so happy. Like, I mean, my mom was happy. His parents were so happy. All of our family friends were happy. And it just was like this most crazy feeling that I've never had before. Like this, it was crazy how much joy was around the fact that we were pregnant. And so everybody was super excited. And so that made me excited. I mean, I was already excited from the jump, because I've always wanted to be a mother, but it just made me really excited that everybody was reacting the way that they reacted. Like, I definitely had the pregnancy glow, because I was ecstatic, okay? And so basically we just started planning our lives around this baby. Like, we just started making plans. We went to the ultrasound. I was about 8 weeks. And they said the baby was healthy. Like, we heard the heartbeat. They said it was a strong heartbeat. And when they said strong heartbeat, it made me feel like, okay, so if it's a strong heartbeat, our baby is like safe and healthy. Like, that's what was in my mind. And it was crazy. And it was during COVID too. So it was like really weird. He couldn't come into the room. with me. He had to FaceTime, and it still was such a joyous moment. We had a little staycation. It was so beautiful. And then fast forward. So after the ultrasound, everything just became real after that moment. Like, I heard my baby's heartbeat. There's a baby in there. I got to see the baby. It was just like, yes, like, we're having a baby. And this was the most exciting moment of my like entire life. And so my symptoms were I was very nauseous in the beginning. It's like I couldn't really eat right because everything I smelled just made me so nauseous, to the point where I had to like plug my nose so that I wasn't able to smell it, just so that I can eat it. Okay. My boobs, they hurt so much. I mean, every single time like I would be changing, it just would be like throbbing pain. It was painful. My boobs are painful. And then I was just tired all the time. There were times where I took a nap, and my naps were like 3 hours, even though I got a full night of sleep. It just was crazy. So when I started to notice the changes, I started to notice that I wasn't as nauseous anymore. And I thought that was normal because I was getting closer to the second trimester, and I've been reading that when you go to the second trimester, you stop being as nauseous, you stop being as tired. So when I stopped being nauseous, like, it didn't alarm me at all. I just thought that, one, it was because I switched prenatals, because the first ones, every time I took it, made me very sick, like very queasy. And then two is that we're getting closer to the second trimester. So I wasn't really tripping on that. But after like a week went by, I was changing like I normally do, and my boobs didn't hurt. Like, usually as soon as I take off, like, you know, my top, my boobs will obviously hurt, and it was perfectly fine. And I definitely noticed that part, because I always, you know, if you've been pregnant before, you know, and your boobs hurt, you always brace yourself for that moment of pain. And I braced myself and it didn't come. So I'm like, that's weird. That's different. But then again, I didn't think nothing of it. You know, I just kept going with my life. And then my stomach started to look smaller. And believe it or not, even though I was like 8 weeks, I was definitely showing, like, it definitely was a belly bump there. And all of a sudden, my belly started to get a little bit smaller. Now, I thought that it was because me and my boyfriend have been working out just so we can stay healthy even throughout the pregnancy. So I thought maybe that could have been the reason. So again, I shrugged it off. Like, this, you know, we're perfectly fine. The baby's fine. I'm fine. There's nothing. But then, and you guys are gonna think that I am batshit crazy, but I promise, I swear on my life, this happened to me. I had a dream that I was using the restroom, and when I went to go wipe, I was bleeding. And my boyfriend was like, oh, everything's okay, everything's fine, reassuring me that everything's fine. And it wasn't fine in this dream. And when I woke up from it, I immediately started praying, because that dream just scared the hell out of me. And I didn't even speak on it. I didn't speak about the dream to nobody. I didn't mention the dream. I actually forced myself not to even think about it after I got done praying. Like, I didn't want anything to do with that dream. So sure enough, you know, I keep going on with, you know, my life, and, you know, still making plans, because in my head, I'm still pregnant. And all of a sudden, I go to the bathroom and I wipe, and there is the faintest of color. But I noticed everything. And so when I seen it, I immediately told my boyfriend, like, yo, this is what I'm seeing. I don't know, like, what to do. I don't know if I'm overreacting. So immediately I just say, you know, it's just normal parts of pregnancy. You're gonna bleed a little bit. I looked it up. You're gonna bleed a little bit. So I'm like, okay, all right. But then the same day, I went to the bathroom again, and this time it's a noticeable red. It's a noticeable red, and I'm freaking out at this point. So I'm like, oh no, we gotta go to the doctor, because I don't know what this is. I don't care what my mama says. I need to go to the doctor. So we go to the doctor, and they do a pelvic exam. They don't see any blood. So they said it's a good sign. Go home, rest. So me and my boyfriend go home, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna put myself on bed rest, so that, you know, whatever this is, it'll go away with me just relaxing. But then I go to the bathroom again. And this time, there is like this blood clot. And now I know something just ain't right. So I go to the hospital and he's like, you know what? Let's just see. Let's just do some ultrasounds. Let's do a pelvic exam just so we can see what's going on and get a better understanding on why you're seeing bleeding. And when the doctor does the freaking pelvic exam, I panic because he says, oh, like he makes this, oh, like he's shocked. Like, oh, there's a little more blood than you showed me in the picture, because I did take a picture so I could show the doctor. And he said it like he was alarmed about how much blood there was. And so that itself made me panic immediately. And I started to cry. And there's another nurse in there and she's like, it's okay, sweetie, calm down. I'm just no, she's like, I'm just nervous. I want to make sure everything's okay with the baby. She's like, just calm down. Everything's going to be okay. And I call my mom, I call my boyfriend, and I'm really trying to stay level-headed for them. But I just feel like I'm trying to convince myself that everything's okay, basically in denial, because I just can't understand what went wrong. Once the doctor got done with the ultrasound, he leaves the room so that I'm able to change. But while I'm changing, I noticed that he left the screen on so that I'm able to see the pictures he's taken. And I see my baby right there. Like, I see it on the ultrasound. So I'm like, everything's fine. Like, I see it, it's there. Cool. So this just must be something wrong, and we're going to get it fixed and everything's going to be okay. I get into the room and the doctor comes in with the results and he's just like, you know, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but you're at the beginning of a miscarriage. And I literally wanted to punch him in the face, like right then and there, because I was just so sad, and all he kept saying was, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm just thinking, like, get the out, get out. I'm sad. I was like I wanted to run away. I wanted to just throw my phone away, run away, never speak to anybody ever again. I just wanted to like hide. It was just so much. It was so emotional. And I got in the car and I texted everybody, and I text every single person that I knew right then and there in that doctor's or in the hospital's parking lot. And I said, I lost the baby. I don't want to talk about it, and I need my space. Went home to my man, and I was just sad upon weeks upon weeks. And so I just feel like I let everybody down. So the next day, you know, I just feel like I didn't want to be seen by anyone. My mom kept asking me if she wants to come over. I'm like, no, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want no one to be here. And so anyways, fast forward. I wanted to really talk about this because today, if you didn't know, is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day. And another reason why I wanted to say it is because after I lost the baby and I, you know, started to talk more about it, it was crazy how many more women came out and said, you know, I've also had a miscarriage before. And how I never noticed how many people have had a miscarriage because no one really talks about it. The amount of people that have miscarriages is one out of every 4 women have a miscarriage. And I did not know that until I did my research. And I hope everybody's experience is different, I know, but I hope that gives you some type of comfort, because I really wish, actually, I don't even wish, I had somebody who in my family who's had a miscarriage, and it felt so good to be able to talk to her about it. It felt so good to be able to hear her experiences, because it made me feel like I'm not alone. It made me feel less ashamed, and it made me feel like, you know what? This happens to a lot of women, and I'm going to be okay. A lot of women have had miscarriages and had healthy babies, healthy pregnancies afterwards. So I really hope this video has given you some type of light, some type of comfort and understanding. We are strong women, and we are going to get through it no matter what. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys, I love to talk, like I said in the beginning. So definitely DM me on Instagram at Loreda Rose. on Instagram and Facebook. And my DMs are always open if you ever need a listening ear, if you ever need some advice, I am here. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you have a great day.